Okay, we're rolling.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to the show. If you're first timer here, nice to have you with us. It's a podcast where we talk about podcasting. And I know there's a lot of other podcasts about podcasting. I get it. But what do we do different here? It's about community. It's about guest co-hosts who come on with their own version of how they podcast. And we're not here to tell you you have to do it this one way. There's many ways to do it. And we're here to support you and encourage you on your journey as a podcaster. So come for the podcast and stay for the fun. It's the How to Podcast series at howtopodcast.ca. I'm glad you're here. We're going to be talking a little bit more about our Behind the Mic series. We do these episodes here and there. And the idea behind all this is that we're trying to help you to develop yourself as a podcaster behind the mic. Not what people see, but the finished product. And just developing and getting better on the mic. Many of us have never done this before. Many of us have never been to radio school or been a professional voice actor. None of that stuff. We bought a microphone on Amazon and we're like, now what? It's time to develop your skills behind the mic. And so if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find that through howtopodcast.ca. You can actually find a playlist called Behind the Mic. And it is a bunch of episodes designed to help you to just focus on the craft of podcasting and working behind the mic and how you as a presenter can be better. So go there, check it out, and go listen to all the episodes around Behind the Mic and use that as a starting point for your journey as a podcaster. If you've been podcasting for years, my gosh, it's time to level up. Like there's probably things you could improve. There's new things coming out all the time. There's new insights, new perspectives on how to be a better podcaster. Maybe it's time to up-level your skills. So go through the episodes, pick out the things that work for you, toss away the stuff that doesn't, and check it out. Those are our Behind the Mic episodes on YouTube. Happy to have you go check those out. And I love your feedback as well. What are we missing for the Behind the Mic series? I'd love to know at howtopodcast.ca. SpeakPipe messages are available. And let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I want to make this Behind the Mic series something very meaningful for you and for others. So your help is greatly appreciated. Thank you. So I want to talk today about going from being flat as a podcaster to being engaging and how to master your podcast voice. Again, this fits really good with our Behind the Mic series. We're wanting to get away from the flat delivery that seems to be common in new podcasters while they're trying to find their voice. So maybe this will help you up-level a little sooner and help you skip a few steps by following through on our examples and our suggestions today. So for me as a podcaster, if we're just meeting, my name is Dave. I live in Ontario, Canada. I have over 2,500 podcast episodes. Around half of those would be interviews. I have 9 shows. This podcast is doing 365 episodes in a row. I have other shows that are 3 times a week, once a week, twice a month, a variety of different cadences for my shows. But I love podcasting and I love meeting people like you. That's why I do this. And there's no commercials here, by the way. And I have nothing to sell you and I have no programs. I do have a podcast meetup group if you're interested, which is free. But besides that, it's about the podcast. It's about you. It's about creating a space for podcasters. So I want to go from flat to engaging as podcasters. How you present your podcast is really important to how it's received by your audience. Treat your podcast as a performance, like not fake performance, but like a show. A microphone does not just capture energy the same way that a face-to-face conversation does. So you have to kind of be a little bit more elevated and a little bit more engaging and a little more animated as a podcaster, especially if it's audio. Like there's no visual cues for you. And even in a video world, people aren't always necessarily watching the entire video. I know that when you watch your favorite movie, you're looking at your phone. I know you're looking at your phone. You're checking TikTok while the movie's playing. I know you're doing that. I know you are. Don't lie. I know you are. So not every moment of every video is watched. So we need as podcasters to remember that and use our voice and don't just rely on the video. Video's great, but it's not everything. Your voice is everything in podcasting, in audio and in video. You need to put the same energy into your podcast than you do in real life with real people around you, your best friends. People are drawn to energy. People feed off of energy. Think of a concert, that expectation when the lights go down and everyone starts cheering. Everybody's in. Everybody's ready to go. And it builds upon itself. Energy is contagious, and you need to lean into yours. So first part here, I want to talk about how that performance creates connection with your audience. Strong podcast delivery sounds like a real conversation. As people listen, listeners should feel like you're speaking directly to them and not at them. That sense of closeness drives loyalty for your audience, and it turns a casual listener into someone who feels like they actually know you, like they could pick you out of a lineup just based on your voice. You don't need to be exaggerated with your voices or over the top in your delivery as a podcaster. You don't have to put on a radio voice. None of that. You need controlled energy. And for people with low energy, you got to step it up a little. And for people that are over energetic, you need to tone it back just a little bit. You might be a little much. You might want to lift your tone slightly if you tend to mumble. You need to stay natural as a podcaster on the mic. Who you are on the mic is who I anticipate meeting at a live event or out in the real world as we come across each other's path. It shouldn't be a shock how different you are, animated or not, when you're off the mic and in real life. There's a balance that keeps your show engaging without sounding overly forced and crafted in a laboratory, right? It's got to feel like you. And if you've ever met me, hopefully what you're hearing here is what you're hearing when we meet together, virtually or in person. I think as podcasters, we need to focus on our intention as we focus on our energy as well. In general, broad, sweeping terms here, again, not specific to any one person, a normal speaking voice often falls flat in audio. What feels lively in person can sound full through headphones. Push your energy up a few degrees, but keep it subtle as a podcaster. For me, I talk about this on my podcast here often, that I have what I call my Dave dial. I'm a pretty quiet guy in real life. I'm not overly animated. I think I'm fun to talk to, but really I'm kind of a wallflower at big events. I'm not the front and center of attention at all. Happy to be there and support, but I don't need the attention. I'm fine. So I need to turn up my Dave dial a little bit just to be a little bit more engaging and a little bit more fun to talk to. And I know that. So it's a conscious effort when I come to my podcast, when I meet with a client or a new podcaster virtually, or I do my meetups, I got to turn it up a little bit. Dave, your resting state is a little bit low. You got to turn that up and be a little bit more Dave in the moment. I'm not fake Dave, but I'm just a little bit more than my normal Dave. We got to think about this. These little tweaks we do to our Dave dial or your dial, put your name in there, they might seem small, like a small little adjustment, but really it affects how your content lands with your audience. When you're recording as a solo podcaster, you don't have an audience, you don't have a guest on your screen or in person. It's just you. This makes it super hard. You're speaking into silence. There's nobody here with me right now. Even my cat's not in the room. It's just me. There's no reactions. There's no feedback. And that environment can actually drain your delivery. You have to generate your own energy all by yourself. And you have to imagine that the listener is right here with you during the recording. Your energy really does matter. And it has to be an intention for you. It has to be something you focus on and something that you deliver. Energy. The other part here is that your voice is part of the content. We all want great content in our podcast. We want people to listen to our show and go, oh my gosh, I needed that today. I needed that comfort. I needed that information. I need that companionship. I needed that advice. I needed that story. But that's only one part of it. it seems to be the thing we focus on a lot, is having great content. But what about your voice? Great ideas alone don't carry your show. Delivery is what shapes how those ideas actually connect with your audience. So your tone and your pace and your rhythm, they're all going to influence your listener engagement. When you're just starting out as a podcaster, don't be afraid to record multiple takes and practice. Like, there's this fear of practice in podcasting that, doing it and not recording it is like a sin. It's not. You can record as often as you want and delete them all and just keep working on it. Work on your craft. Just because you buy a mic doesn't make you a podcaster. Podcasting comes through rehearsal, practice, tweaks, feedback, redos, restarts. Let's do that one more time. I record in studios as a musician. We don't always take the first take of a singer, a guitar player, a drum part. No, there's multiple times where we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And then sometimes we take a little piece of one and a little piece of the other and we make up our own. It's not like you're perfect from the beginning. And just because you bought a microphone does not mean you're a podcaster. So you need to practice. You could record 50 episodes of a podcast, delete all 50, and the 51st episode becomes your first episode. There's no reason why you can't do that. Rehearse and practice for weeks and weeks and months before you start if you want to. I know there's going to be people that will tell you just start. But if you just start and it's just crap because you've never had feedback and you don't know what you're doing and you feel overwhelmed, you're going to give up. You're going to give up. You're going to walk away from podcasting, and we want you to stay. So rehearse and practice. Record multiple takes, experiment with different levels of your own energy. You got to find your voice. Just your microphone doesn't include your voice. It doesn't come in the same box. You got to find it. Listen back to it with a critical ear. Get feedback from somebody you trust. Notice where your sound starts to feel flat or you feel disengaged. You sound a little bored. And then adjust and try it again. Improvement comes from hearing what the audience hears. And you're not going to be able to get better until you put yourself under the microscope and go, how can this be 1% better? How can I keep growing as a podcaster? And that's why we're doing the Behind the Mic series, to encourage you to be better in every episode, one little step at a time. No big swings, just little actionable steps. When we review our tape as podcasters, we build awareness through playback. Listening to your own voice is really uncomfortable, but do it anyway. Yeah, do it anyway. You're like, I don't want to. Well, do you want to get better? Or are you happy with where you're at? You got to review the tapes. You got to listen to yourself. You will catch little habits that you've never noticed. That thing that you say, yeah, that thing that you say all the time. Well, maybe you can do that less. Maybe you could get better. We can all improve. There's things that I say all the time, like so, or that's great, or all kinds of things that I say all the time on my podcast. And I'm aware of it the more I listen to myself and go, I could do a little less of that and maybe a little bit more of that. Or I could replace that word that seems to be my go-to word with maybe something a little bit better, a little bit less overused. And in that moment when I'm recognizing there's things that I could do better, that's called improvement. Always improving. Continuous improvement is the core to a great growing podcaster and podcast. And your audience will love you for it. You're going to hear moments that need more life in your presentation. This process is going to sharpen your performance over time. You're going to be a little less monotone and a little more engaging, a little less flat, and a little bit more of you, the real you. Podcasting gives you control. You can refine until it works. You can do whatever you want as you wish to the goal that you've set for yourself. Use this as an advantage, not an admonishment that you're not good enough. It's an opportunity to grow and to be better in this thing called podcasting. A podcast is more than just a podcast. It's a show. When you bring intentional energy to your voice, but still staying natural, you refine your delivery through honest self-review and feedback from a trusted voice. That combination gives a stronger connection through your content to your audience. Content alone is not going to win the day. It comes through your voice. And that's what sets us apart from a blog. Written documents. We're using our voice. We're using the thing that comes most natural to us. Speech. And through your speech, you're going to connect with people in a very unique way. So lean into that. Let's move from being flat as a presenter on a podcast, as a guest, on stage, to being a little bit more engaging. And that comes with 1% better every time you do it. And it comes through feedback. If you need feedback on your show and you're willing to work with somebody and take some advice on what you need to do to improve, howtopodcast.ca. You and I can get together for a virtual coffee. There's a free calendar invite on my website. You can use it as often as you want, and we'll get together and talk. Throw in the comments what you want to focus on so I'll come ready for it. But we'll grab a coffee or a beverage of your choice and we'll get together and chat about podcasting. It doesn't matter if you haven't even started yet or you've been doing this for 25 years. I'd love to meet you at howtopodcast.ca. And let's work together. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm sure we can help each other. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the show. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to the entirety of the episode, including this part. You know what? A lot of people leave right now. So we'll let them leave. Give them a second to go. Okay, now it's just you and me. We have our meetups that we do for the How to Podcast series. We do them during the week, and we also do them on Saturdays. So twice a week, you have the opportunity to meet other podcasters, just like you. Some people have just started. Some people haven't even released an episode yet. Some have been doing it forever. And we get together and talk podcasting. We want to help you in community to continue with your show, to start your show, to grow your show. So come and meet listeners of this show in one space on meetup.com. Again, through howtopodcast.ca, you'll see the links. It's completely free to join. Come whenever you have an opportunity to come. There's no commitment. You don't have to sign any waivers. You can just come join us. Come join the conversation. We'd love to have you there because the only thing that's going to make these meetups better is you being there. So I'm hoping you will say yes. And you'll say, Dave, I'm tired of podcasting by myself. I wish there were people I could connect with that are fellow podcasters and share my frustrations with guests who ghost me and my editing software is crapping out on me and I'm just having this hard time. I'm just having a hard time coming up with podcasts, episodes and titles and all the things and social media. Wouldn't it be great to get in a room with other podcasters and share best practices and learn? 3 of our 4 Saturdays every month are themed. So you have a topic, but that last Saturday of every month is open question and answer. Ask anything. Come meet a podcaster. Come enjoy the podcasting community through howtopodcast.ca. Come to our meetups. Can't wait to see you there. You're still here. Excellent. Okay, so I was on a podcast website and there was people asking questions about podcasting. So this didn't come directly to me. This was a conversation other people were having. And I thought, this is probably happening for you, possibly. And the question was around, how do I find a mentor or a mastermind group of peer podcasters at my same growth level? It's a lot in there, right? That's pretty specific, right? How do I find a mentor or a mastermind group of peer podcasters at my same growth level? You're going to be exposed to many different opportunities in podcasting to meet with people. Some are going to be way advanced. Some are going to be way basic. And some are going to be somewhere in the middle, kind of Goldilocks thing. So the one thing I would say for you as kind of a guiding principle when you're trying to decide who to work with and who to partner with on your journey as a podcaster in a world of options is, I would say, connect with the person who pours into you first. The person who gives before they ask. If you come across a podcast mentor, membership group, a guru, and they hit you with their fee before they hit you with their value, that may not be a good fit for you. So keep that in mind. Go with somebody who pours into you first. And find a group that's healthy. A good podcast group will call out all of the people who are negative or who take the group down or try to take the group down. That happens actually in podcast groups I've been a part of. Be careful that you're going into a group that's healthy and strong, and get feedback from the people in the group itself. Because if the group is promoting the group without the prompting of the host of the group, that's a good sign. It's a really good sign. And I'm biased because I have my own group. But if you come to my group or somebody else's, just pick a group where the host pours into you first, where you feel safe, and you can speak freely without being judged. Some of these groups are going to be very cliquey, meaning there's the main group, and then there's a little micro group within the group who seem to run everything. And if you're not in the micro group, you're not at the cool kids table. That's been my experience in many podcasting groups where I think I could come with great value and be helpful, but I don't push myself in these groups. And I sit on mute for the most of the time because they never come to me. They never acknowledge really who's in the audience, and the little micro group runs the show. And it's kind of predictable. And for the most part, they don't know what they're talking about, which is frustrating because I know I could help. But yet I don't push myself. So I built my podcasting group to be different, and it's free, and there's no funnel, and it's open to everyone. Anyone in podcasting can come and join. My only request is that you participate, you bring value, you support. You don't come to steal my chickens and take them back to your farm. That's not what we're here about. I'm creating a space that's meant to serve everyone. And if you show up bringing value and you show up willing to serve first, you're going to do really well in the group. So if that helps you, great, come check it out. Over at howtopodcast.ca. I'll put a little clip here at the end from two of the guys from the group who created their own promo for the group without my prompting and did it all on their own, which is, again, going back to what I said earlier, a good sign of a good group. When the group promotes itself, that's a great sign. So they can speak on their behalf of their own experience. And if that resonates with you, I'd love to connect with you. Thanks for being here. Here's Dave and Bill talking about the meetup group. But again, thank you for being here. Let's go from flat to engaging in your next podcast episode. If you need help, reach out anytime. Thanks for being here. Talk soon.
This episode got me thinking about something I've been doing almost every Saturday for the last several years now. Regarding real change taking longer than a weekend, I wanted to mention a podcast meetup run by a friend of the show, David Campbell. Rather than have Dave do a promo about it himself, I spoke with a fellow member of the group, Bill Monty.
I was so lucky to just stumble upon Dave's meetings. The first meeting, I knew this was different than other groups I had belonged to. First off, the other groups I had to pay to be in. And sometimes I was completely ignored, never asked a question or even acknowledged that I was part of a little 5-person group. And so this became something very different for me. And really it was someone tossing me a lifeline, because at that point I was just thinking about giving up podcasting. Dave uses the word community a lot, and that's exactly what we've built. We've built this little podcasting community of people who actually care for each other. There's no judgment. There's no sales. It's a great place to learn, and it's a great place to feel safe.
If you're looking for a podcast community that feels more like a long-term conversation than a weekend transformation, the easiest way to join is visit Dave's site, howtopodcast.ca, and scroll down to the meetup. It's free, and honestly, it's one of the few podcast groups I keep coming back to.